Something produces the emotion of your life, and emotion is your life. So whatever meaning you attach is the emotion you're going to have. And the habits are the ones that control your flow of thought. So if you have lousy habits, you're going to have lousy thoughts. So you got to change your habits. So these are the things that I talk about and teach, Samuel. And this is how you get how to grow out of a traumatic life or any challenging experience. These little things.
Yeah. And I think sometimes the thing is some of these are very common sense information, but people still fail to implement it. Yep. So why is that the case? Because obviously not everybody, is going to have an experience where they had that miracle on the Hudson sort of experience, but they all have their own personal traumas. Yep. Some people, like you said, have figured out a strategy even during COVID. They somehow bounce back, but there are still people stuck in that mental state and really abusing themselves in all kinds of bad habits, like you said, right? Their habits. And now they're in a very bad place in life. Why is that the case? And even though they know that the power relies in them to actually overcome some of these bad habits and bad thoughts.
I think because they don't understand there are references out there. There are, you're not, and it's one thing my mother taught me years ago. You're the first person to go through this, right? There's somebody else that's gone through this and something worse than you have. And so I think what happens to a lot of people is they get in their mind so much they ask themselves lousy questions. And what's called their internal representation. They ask themselves lousy questions. And I used to ask myself lousy questions like, why does this always happen to me? I can never get across the 5-yard line. I get to the end and all of a sudden I blow it up. I'm a failure, right? I get it done. But then that becomes what? Your identity. And your identity is the most powerful force that you have in your life, is what you identify as. So a lot of people, you know what? I know a lot of people just like to have a pity party all the time. They're happy when they're not happy, because then that's their identity. It's like, poor Dave, poor Sherry. She always has something going on in her life. The way to do that, and that's why this book, my second book, From Turmoil to Triumph, that's why I named it what I did. Is because the fastest way to get out of that is first change your physiology, ask yourself different questions. But third, find a mentor, find a coach, find somebody else. And how can I find somebody else? I'm not like you who knows everybody. I didn't know everybody. You have to step up and you have to actually, and this is one of the things I teach in my workshop now. You got to be your own coach. Sometimes you have to be your own coach, like in baseball. And you go on a pitcher, and he's having a bad inning. He's all over the place. And as the coach can't come out every 5 seconds, you got to be your own coach, which is a great metaphor for me. So I tell people, sometimes you got to be your own coach, which means you got to ask for help. You got to ask somebody, listen, I don't know you from Adam, but I've read something you've done. I've heard something you did. I've seen a video on YouTube. Reach out to them. Because one of the great things now compared to 1984 when I was going.
To request a free marketing ROI audit, please visit OneIMS.com. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. To make sure you never miss an episode, please subscribe.